as we say here in Italy, buona domenica. Today is Sunday, the 19th. I'm going to be doing your reading for the week. So from today, Sunday, January 19th until the 25th of January. Now, I apologize. I haven't had time to study the astrology this week. I know that the sun is going to be moving into Aquarius. Yay! And we have a new moon in Aquarius on the 24th, I think. So I'm actually going to do a reading for that. But this will just be purely tarot energy for the week. So first I'm going to start by pulling 3 advice cards, as usual. And I'll lay them out here. We'll read them at the end. So can I get, please, 3 cards face down for Aries? Advice for the week of January 19th to the 25th. Now, how are you enjoying this energy? I love it. This is my favorite period. I've actually been really sick. I've been sick for like 6 months. It's the problem with the air quality here in Italy, or in Milan. But I've been sick, but like super laser focused. Now, some of you may be feeling like, you know, those paragliding things where you like jump off, you paraglide down from the mountain onto the beach. Some of you may feel like that. Some of you may be feeling take no prisoners kind of energy. Nothing is open for negotiation. You are like being very picky about where you invest your time, who you invest your time with, above all else, and that's great. And you may have put to rest or just found like an old habit, an old something, all of a sudden just like intolerable. Like, nah, not doing it. And not only like not doing it, but also kind of like angry, you know, not doing it. Like, I've had enough of that. So, there may have been like some closures this past week that were not even emotional enclosures. It's just like, nah, like really easy, you know, just like not even things you like cry, like not crying over, not mourning, just like done, like full on Aries done kind of energy, which is awesome. Now the other thing is that the sun squares Uranus this week so I said I didn't study the astrology, but you know, always got to keep an eye. That new moon is actually square that Uranus. Now, sun square Uranus anything square Uranus is a little bit surprising. But so if you didn't have those breakthrough, break free moments last week, you may be getting them this week. That new moon energy square Uranus is like, nah, bye. just done. But let's see what else comes up for the rest of the week here. Can I get a card, please, for the overall energy for Aries for the week of January 19th, please, 2020. Aries, January 19th, 2020. No, too many. 1 card, please. Okay. Oh my God! It's the same one as last week. Okay, so like I said, for those of you that it didn't happen last week, it's going to happen this week. We're still saying goodbye to something, burying an old story, paying it its due homage. You know, maybe last week you kind of had, my cat is getting dangerously close. Say hi, Zoe. She's never done that before. Sorry. She's never done that before. That's really weird. So that's why I say that's that Uranian or the Uranian energy, right? Like, don't give a fuck. I want to come up and scream. I'm doing it. So something different, a change, you know, moving from the burial. This reminds me also of the death card, you know, as you move forward, leveling up, entering into a new gateway, a whole new perspective on things. You know, the sun sets, but also rises kind of thing. What else did I want to get? The challenges. That is so funny because she just walked away. She was just like, I'm coming in. I'm saying hi. Can I get the challenge energy for Aries for the week of January 19th? Challenge for Aries, January 19th. Okay, so that's the Four of Swords. And I think, God, did we get the Four of Swords last week also? I think so. So this is, you know, looking at the past with new light, or looking at the past under a new light, but also like maybe coloring things in a different way, looking at the different shades of your past. Remember I said that this card was about like burying things, but understanding the role that they had played in your life and why they were actually, you know, gifts, that they maybe were not meant to last, but they were there for a very specific reason. And this is kind of like looking at that, looking at the past with new shading, but also, are you coloring a black and white situation with color? So like any energy, it can go both ways, right? There may be a different way of looking at the way you've been looking at a black and white situation. There may be shades of color in it. You may also be coloring something that is quite black and white. The Four of Swords asks you to take a moment to reflect. I'm pretty sure we got it last week though. You know, reflect on the past. So this is a very sort of closing out moment. Yeah, so let's get another energy. Which one did I want? This one. Okay, what's the lesson for the week, January 19th? So this is very much a carryover of the energy that we had last week. January 19th, energy for Aries, week of January 19th, 2020. Okay. And there's that round and round card. So in order to avoid situations that continue again and again and again, we do have to shift the path. Now, this is to me, okay, so for those of you who didn't bury the situation, it will not change, okay? Whatever you're hoping, that black and white situation that maybe you're hoping is full of color is really just, you know, this is a time for breaking patterns. This is a time for saying stop to the past. And the only way we can do it is to look at things in a different light, right? But what this is saying is that there is an opportunity to bury these patterns, but you have to shift your actions, right? And remember, like I've gone over this Four of Swords card a million times, that it's you come back from the battle and you understand, where did I go wrong? Like, what were the steps that I did that may have put me in harm's way? And what were the steps I did that led me to success, you know? And it's interesting because I always call this sort of like the autopsy on any situation. And as you're dealing with a situation that's dead, there is an autopsy that needs to happen on it, so that you don't end up repeating cycles that can go on inevitably. You know, I remember once when I was, I had just gotten divorced, moved into this house, and it had been a couple of years and like nothing was moving. I kept thinking like, okay, like the divorce happened, now all of a sudden everything in my life is going to change. And actually nothing changed. And I remember saying to the universe, like, when are things going to change? And the answer that I got back was, when you change them, right? So if you continue to fall for the same people, if you continue to take the same kind of jobs, if you continue to put yourself in similar situations, they are always going to end up the way, you know, we have these set dynamics in our brain that are comfort zones to us, and we actually seek them out quite subconsciously. We may even think we're doing things differently, but somehow we always end up here. And that's why it's so important to do this sort of autopsy on what happened, because until you understand consciously exactly what got you here, what put this situation in the ground, you can't break it. You can't break this pattern. Okay, so what's the energy coming into the week? What's the energy coming into the week, please? Too many. Okay, I'll take that one. Okay, so the wishing well, right? Let's see the last card, and then we'll figure out how that plays in. What's the energy at the end of the week, please? What's the energy at the end of the week? And this may be part of that, you know, like I said, when are things going to change? Like, we're hoping and wishing for something different, and yet something keeps us stuck there. Okay, this came up before when I was shuffling. It's really funny. So it's the Field of Dreams, but it's in reverse. So let's take a look at these two cards quickly before I fill in the rest. Now, the Wishing Well says, okay, desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. So desire is the most important impulse for creating life. Now you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration, and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life. It is an aha moment when everything makes sense. And that might be that, like the things like sort of clicking, coming into focus, seeing the color of the situation, seeing what its true colors were. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate or are conceiving a baby or an idea. The Wishing Well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Lovely, right? So there is an opportunity now to really break these patterns as long as we're very conscious and very honest with ourselves about the dynamics. This is the most important thing, is that you can recognize them and still kind of talk yourself out of them. Like, oh, well, yeah, I know he looks like every other guy I've ever dated, but maybe... And that's the thing. It's like, if it looks like things that have been repeating in the past, then it's more likely than not going to be a repetition of the past. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities. Interesting, because that's the field of dreams. Where was I? Sorry. Where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Form your intention, and this came up I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago with that owl on top. The intention, and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well. Then trust in spirit. Be prepared to be amazed. Nice. Then let's see this card, because this looks like it's the exact opposite. Okay, interesting. So the Field of Dreams reverse says, are your dreams your own, or are they really someone else's? Have you chased money, possessions, or prestige? Have you placed security above fulfillment? Has approval seeking played a major role in your motivation to succeed? This is the time for you to assess the validity of your dreams, your talents, and your willingness to be a channel for inspiration and creativity. Don't be afraid to enter the field of dreams, for you can always clear the ground for new and better things to grow. Nature has a way of self-correcting if you're willing to act with authenticity. The power to create is inside of you. Okay, so this is all very encouraging messages, you know, especially given this energy that's going on right now where we have all the planets direct. It's really asking you to move forward. Put the past, like, dump the past, understand the past, bury it, change, make the change, act authentically, and really, like, you know, like, what if you could have whatever, what would you wish for, right? Because this is kind of like, and there's that other saying where it says, you know, if you wish for the moon, you may get the top of the trees. But this is really about also burying, right? So you're burying an old chapter of your life, and it's very clear that this is a level up moment, right? The opportunity is here to level up. The opportunity is here to really create the things you've been dreaming of, that field that you've been looking at that you always saw in black and white, it can be in color if you want it to be. Again, doing things differently, but also not only doing things differently, but also aiming for the moon, even if you get the top of the trees. Nice, right? So powerful, powerful first card to come out, especially after this completion. The Magician, the first one, starting over, leveling up. You've got everything on your table. Now, there are a lot of readers that use this as like a manipulator. And I suppose, I really think this is like literally the guy that has the ability to channel everything from the divine, because he's got all the tools available to him, right? Like anything he wants to do, he can. He is not missing anything. And this is what I think the universe is saying to us with these other two cards, is that also like, don't limit your wishes, because this is the time really to reach. This is the time to reach for the stars, to reach into the divine, because we are conduits for that energy right now. Now let's get 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards for Aries, week of January 19th. Oh, nice. If the third card is crappy, I'm going to be so bummed. But Magician, Queen of Pentacles, amazing. Also because look at these two female figures, right? They're both gazing down, but you see the difference in what they're looking at. It's like once you put it to bed, then you get to sort of like focus on how far you've come, how rich, and not only in terms of money, but how rich the experience has made you, how rich or how much opportunity you have around you, how much you are able to create. 1 more card, please, for January 19th. I love it. I'm not taking notes because there's too many. Also is the Hangman. 1 more card, please, for Aries, January 19th, 2020. Okay, take it. Nice. All right, so new emotional fulfillment coming in, offers coming in, being able to fulfill that cup, moving forward, but like, here it's like throwing the coin in the fountain, and here it's moving forward. He's moving forward into the field of dreams. That's what's in front of him right here. So these are 3 very, very, very beautiful cards. And this is your energy for the week. So if you still have this residual stuff going on from last week, where you're still trying to exercise, maybe you're putting like the final touches on what it is exactly that you want. Awesome. No worries on that. It's really a time to, I said it at the beginning, it's that time where like, if that person disappoints you, if that job falls through, if the thing you thought you wanted is being taken away from you, fuck it, let it go, because it's not right. Right now is the time where we're only being given, this is what we're being given, right? So if you get into alignment, and to me, this is what that is, very much aligned, right? Because his hand's extended towards the divine. He's got the infinity over him. This is sort of like the connecting to the infinite power. So when you are in alignment with your higher good, these tools become supercharged, right? This is not an earthly energy. This is a divine energy. And that's what's said here. Now it turns into something very earthly, because these are the court characters, right? There's 2 people there. And actually, if you look at it in here, he's headed right towards her. even though on the thing they're going in different directions. But when you're in alignment with your highest good, and how do I get into alignment with my highest good? Meditate, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what, if I could wish for anything, what would it be? Be honest. Call a spade a spade. Stop repeating things that get you into shitty situations, that keep bringing you here. Every single time you repeat a habit that brings you to mourn, once again, those are the things that need to be dead, buried, move on. See things for what they are, but also the opportunity. See not only, be honest with, is this really the color of life that I want? Or am I coloring in something that's actually just gonna get me right back here once again? Okay. But like I said, if it's something that's ending, if you've gotten clear on what this completion is, but you're like, let it go, like emotionlessly, I know that's not a word, but just dump it and focus here. Focus all of your energy here, here, here. What do you wish for? Get into alignment with your higher self. What makes you feel like the Queen of Pentacles? And then go out and get it, because it's what's keeping this field of dreams, until you know what's in that cup. Like, not only what you want to be offered to you, but what you have to offer. We can't write this card right side up, this card, right? Because otherwise he's going right here, right? Bringing this cup into the field of dreams. But right now it's upside down, which means that there's still a little bit of haze on it, still not clear, still trying to figure things out. What is this really? Again, if it's a repeat of a habit, dump it. If it's a new thing, but you're like, nah, give it not too much time. Remember, this really powerful all direct energy is really only until the end of the month, because then we enter into Mercury shadow. When you may, as of the Mercury shadow, this will not be 100% clear. Right now, our thinking is on point. Our actions are directed. So this is really like wind at our back. If you're going to move, this is the time. So get into, here's what I want. Here's what my highest self wants me to have, right? That would make me feel really blessed and abundant and solid. And, okay, let's get an advice card. What advice? What energy for Aries for the week of January 19th? What energy for Aries for the week of January 19th? I love it when the Magician comes out. What energy for Aries week of January 19th? I'll take that one. Oh, nice. There were two. Okay, interesting. So we've never gotten this one before, which is cute. So it's the Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. And number one, ants, time to collaborate. Now, I'm going to read both of these, also because I've never read this one, so I'm curious to know what it says. Let's start with the ant spirit. Although we got a 1 and a 1, that's it. It's the level up energy. It's time to collaborate. Make it happen. So when ant spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as a part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others. Accept help and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with spirit, right? So that's what I said, get into alignment with your higher self, because what's making those tools on that table supercharged is the energy that he's got floating over his head. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. Interesting. It's funny also because I've been looking for a partner on my project for months and I cannot find the right person. So I'm happy to see any ants if they want to come in. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you, everything is working to support you right now. Awesome. So maybe I'll ask again. Great energy. Let's get this one here. 41. Nightingale Spirit. In the darkness of night, Nightingale Spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harbinger of dawn, to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved, and the illumination song of the Nightingale Spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness, as we've been saying, and connection with the light. Yes, there is shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in the seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. That's also kind of this. Like, if you find yourself in this energy right now where everything looks gray, so if you find yourself in sort of a deep funk, depression, can't get out of these cycles, start by finding the small colors in the gray, right? You don't have to flip it. You don't have to go from here to here. But if you start by seeing the nuance, that it is not all gray, that there is not all darkness, but there is light that's sort of chirping out as the sun starts to rise. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale song remind you that love is all around. Feel it and trust in tomorrow's light, renewing your ability to recognize that the spaces that appear empty are filled with love and abundance. Illumination will happen soon. Okay, so it's kind of like two messages. So it feels to me like maybe we have kind of like two groups that are going on. There's one that are like ready to dive off the diving board, and other people who are still kind of like can't see the light in the dark. And what this is saying is that actually you have far more light available to you than you realize. The first step, your eye, the thing with the darkness is that your eyes adjust to it and then the light hurts. So to come out of it is not something, you can't just flick on the lights. You have to kind of ease your way out of it. So start by small moments of joy, small things that bring you joy. This is the way to sort of get out of this cyclical funk, right? Because as I said, your eyes adjust to the darkness, so does your mind. It makes a habit your mind makes a habit of how it sees things, including negativity. Negativity is as much a habit as anything else. So if you start to retrain your brain to see the different shades of gray and bring some light into it, you will start to see colors. So for those of you who can't seem to sort of snap out of this kind of dark place or this dark energy, or feeling like nothing is ever going to change, the wisest way to do so, first of all, exercise is one of the best ways to help with getting your brain back on board. Your diet is the second thing. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin B, enough vitamin D. It may also be, some people may have that seasonal affective disorder. Get like maybe some light therapy, the vitamin D light therapy. There's mirrors that you can look at while you work that will help. The other way is literally just to start slowly shifting your attention towards the positive things. So like make an appointment 5-10 times a day to notice at least one nice thing that's happening around you or something you like. Like I like that pink. I like that the way that material feels. I like that smell. You have to retrain your brain out of depression. It's actually it's difficult but doable. So, okay, so those are those two kind of stories here. Now let's go ahead and get the advice cards for everybody. I'll start over here. Actually, let me get this. We'll start with this one. This one says to be of service. It is a 46, which is a 10. So for those of you who are in that one energy and not sure exactly what it is that you're supposed to do, if there's someone who needs your help, it's time to collaborate. If you're trying to figure out what your calling is, perhaps it's in the form of service. Let's see what else this says. 97. Oh, flipped right to it. Okay, so connect to your inner self. Like, again, here we are again. By being lovingly grounded in service to others in your day-to-day world. Seeing each effort as an opportunity to love and brighten the world in your own way. Every effort has meaning and purpose if it's made with love. There is no wasted time, just time to learn to love and love more. You don't have to withdraw from the world to find your purpose. Engage in your duties with a sense of loving purpose, and your true path will open up to fulfilling opportunities soon enough. Your divine energy is calling you to be in the world, but not of it. Work with love and respect that your efforts have value and make a positive difference even when it doesn't feel this way. Devote yourself to service at the highest level and trust that fulfillment will come in surprising ways. You are on a path even if it feels as though you are lost. Okay. Great. Sounds a little heavy. Let's do this one. Okay, nice. This is a 9. Live life to the fullest. Now let's see what that has to say. Oh, that's the last card in the deck here. So this one says, what aspects of life are you avoiding? Where do you hold yourself back out of fear of the unknown or past conditioning? What experiences do you wonder about, long for, and envy? Right? That's your wishing well right there. Your divine energy is calling you to break out of your habitual self-identity and routine and directly experience all that beckons to you in life. Right? And that's also this, time to collaborate. Like, what else can you do? Your divine invitation is to have the courage to challenge yourself to the fullest and to pursue your passions without reservation. Earthly existence ends soon enough, so don't throw it away by keeping yourself from experiencing it to the hilt. Dream big, live large. This is your playground, and you write the rules. Don't sit on the sidelines watching days go by. Lovely. Let's get the last one here. Raise your vibration. And that's a 12. This is a 12 also. Oh, that's 12 backwards. So let's see. 57. Sorry, I hate the way these cards are numbered. I've said that 1,000 times. Okay, are you suffering from vague physical ailments? Hello. Headaches, bellyaches, phantom pains, or worse? Are you struggling to feel healthy and strong? Don't panic and don't interpret any physical challenges or ailments as sign of failure or weakness. Your body's complaints are simply its way of alerting you to the need to release old patterns and unexpressed feelings so that you have a clear and active physical vibration. Embrace them lovingly and thank your visible self for working so hard to properly house your spirit. Consciously choose to cast off useless feelings of depression. Oh, interesting. We were talking about that. Sorrow or self-recrimination in order to retrieve your health. Your divine energy is calling you to introduce your body to a higher, more positive, healthy vibration through loving and healthy choices and thoughts. Oh, and here's the invitation. This is crazy, is what I was just saying, right? Discipline your mind to focus on those energies that enable you to love your body and listen to it with patience and interest. If it's troubled, it's alerting you to release what no longer serves you. But so clearly I have work to do also. By letting go of old patterns, you'll raise your vibration and enhance your physical and psychic vitality. Okay, awesome. So all very, very useful and very connected. I will try and check in towards the end of the week for that new moon reading. And I wish you all a very lovely week. Take care.